Hi, Alicia DR Hankins here. This is Sisters in Slippers, giving it to you real. If you have softy feelings, then press pause, don't listen to us, okay? Because we're giving you MLM truth, sugar-free, straight from our snarky selves, okay? And today, I see at the bottom here of my screen is 1 ounce of comfort. And I'm going to ask, so Nicole, is that Southern comfort? What is that?
Wouldn't you like to know, is that Southern comfort? No, it's actually not. We're talking, right? We always talk about people and supporting people in the network marketing industry and giving our points of view on certain topics. And today it kind of just popped into my head once. 1 ounce of comfort. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Well, when I think about that 1 ounce of comfort, and you're in this network marketing industry and you see people right out of the gate becoming so very successful, making $1,000, making $3,000, making $5,000 within their first month, 3 months, 6 months. And, you can continue to see them grow and get better and better and better and better. And why is that? And I like to say that it's because this person had no ounce of comfort whatsoever. This needed to work no matter what. They didn't have some job to fall back on. They didn't have some thousands of dollars in reserve to help, cushion them. It had to work straight out of the gate. I need to make money. I need to pay for my bills. Maybe my house is in foreclosure. Maybe my kids, have something they're in dire need of. Maybe it's some kind of a medical bill. Maybe it's some kind of a procedure that needs to be done. Like, it could be life-threatening. And it's not a question of if it's going to work. It's now. It's going to work. They had no reason for it not to. So they just went. They took the steps necessary. They did the do. They did what needed to be done. And they made it work out. I see so many people in the industry who, I'm not saying that I'm never guilty of it. I can say, I have no issues admitting it myself, that even if there is 1 ounce of comfort in your life, you have that job to fall back on. This is not your primary way of making financial means. So it's kind of like a hobby. It's something that you do on the side. It's something you do within the nooks and crannies of your day because you have a job to fall back on, the job that pays for the bills, the job that puts food on the table, that puts clothes on your back, that keeps the electricity on. That 1 ounce of comfort really can break someone in the industry. And I'm not saying that it never happens. People do become successful who have full-time jobs. They work it out, because they don't want to continue to live that type of lifestyle. They're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, and they take the steps necessary every single day to get them to their end goal.
We also know that sometimes those people with the full-time jobs, though, they have some kind of full-time bill that can also be excessive of their full-time jobs, so still put them in the same position that you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just really putting it out there and visually seeing it every single day, that maybe your full-time job will not help to cover now the electricity has gone up a few $100s. I don't have that extra $200-300 to cover my electricity bill. So what am I going to do? You have this business. It's not a question of, can it work? Can you do it? Of course you can, right? I mean, I think the question is not really, can I do it? It's, will you do it?
Mm-hmm. I think you got a good point. You've brought up a good point here, because I'm going to talk about a previous business I was in with a very sassy person, okay? So sassy person did talk to my friend once. I have a good friend. Hi, Deb. She's in Hilo. So sassy person actually got a little irritated, I think, that Deb didn't push. Deb was what we talked about in the previous video here. But Deb didn't push. She just did her thing. It was like, whatever. And sassy person just came out and asked her and just said, so you're comfortable. So the point was, You're comfortable. So even, yes, this 1 ounce of comfort, Deb definitely has more than 1 ounce of comfort. So by her having more than that 1 ounce of comfort, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So sometimes it would happen and she would make a lot of money, and sometimes it didn't happen and she didn't make a lot of money from that, but it was all right because she was comfortable. So you've definitely hit on a good spot here, something to call attention to. Are you comfortable? Do you have that 1 ounce of comfort? And my mind is whirling on it because, so the story we just heard the other day, $64,000 paycheck, which is and she's going to get paid again in 2 more weeks. So this is just one-time paycheck, $64,000. When I hear her talk about her previous history, this particular person with the $64,000 check, by the way, $64,000 check is pretty interesting because there's no cap in that particular business that we're talking about her drawing this check from. There's no cap. So unlike a lot of MLM companies that have a cap, yes, I don't even know, because she said she made $500,000 last year. I'm sure she's going to be well over $500,000 this year if she's making $64,000 paycheck, and she's going to get another check that same size or larger. This is the minimum. They didn't tell us the exact amount that she made. But anyway, I get all excited and digressed into that because, I'm a numbers girl. Oh, check it out. But anyway, even in her own story, she says that in the beginning of all of this, she just had to make it work. It had to work. And I hear that story from her a lot. When she started off, 6 years ago, it had to work. And I think she's never actually told the story in detail. But it alludes to the idea that she quit her job. So I'm trying to put the little pieces together. I think what had happened, she totally quit her job. And so since she was totally jobless, it has to work. That's all there is to it. How much am I going to get paid next week? Because if I don't get that paycheck, then that's it. There's nothing else coming in. And I don't know what does that do to somebody? What happens to us as an individual? What changes? What do you think is what do you think, if you had to narrow it down to one thing, Nicole, what is the one thing that changes other than the 1 ounce of comfort? When the 1 ounce of comfort is removed, what changes in ourselves that all of a sudden it works?
I'm a firm believer that it's the mind. Along with anything else that we do in this industry, that's, I think, the one thing that would really make or break anyone is your mindset. Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe that not having this comfort zone now, that it's going to push me? My mind is made up. My mind is set that I don't have a job tomorrow. I'm not going to have a check coming next week. This has to work. It's a very powerful thing, that mind, and it really could be something as simple. It's so easy to put your finger on it, but it's not very easy for people to kind of make that shift and that switch into, to believing or changing. And do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I follow you. That's why I'm thinking, yeah, I think it feels like you have it. That is it. And to me, it just sounds so simple. It's your mindset. If you believe it, you can do it. And by all means, it's the easiest thing to see. I'm wondering, we see all these memes, we see all the postings, we see all the cute things that tell you, you're the only one in your way. It's you. Everything is about you, and it really is. It really is. And it's the hardest thing to overcome is your own. These little voices, the little voices that are inside over there. Oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I'm scared about this. Should I do that? I don't know. Did I do it at the right time? Is it the right day? Maybe it's next time. Oh, just be quiet. So I wonder what I was thinking when I asked that, because I was wondering if, do you become less inhibited? Do you become braver? Do you become more confident? Is it slightly on the stand of desperation? There's all these things that come up, but ultimately, I think you hit it right on the head with you have this mindset and you just believe it's going to happen, and it's so strong emotionally that it has to happen, and it just, whatever distractions is static. I kind of think of it like static when I'm talking about it, and I say coming in here and coming in there while you're on the way. That static is just, you're not even paying attention to it, because my kids got to eat, so I don't care about the static.
Exactly. You kind of form this like tunnel vision, right? Just that static. There's all these things going on. Yes, I can hear them, I can see them, you know, but I'm so focused right here to that end goal that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. You know, and things like that happen, right? Like, for instance, a course that I had wanted to take was $500, and I didn't have an extra $500 to take, but I committed myself that this was the day that the money needed to be in, and whatever I had to do to make sure I had that money, because it was so important for me, for my business, that would in turn put more food on the table, that would put more money in our bank account, that would cover more bills. I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure that I had that money, because I made up my mind that I was going to take it. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just knew why I wanted to do it, what it was going to provide for me. And you know what? I made it happen. You just, once you again, make up that mind, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You don't know how, but you know why. Oh, sorry, I got this little gnat flying around here.
Leader after leader after leader will tell you that. And it's not, guys, when you're out there, you're watching us, it's not sitting in front of your book, you know, saying today it's going to happen, I'm going to have it happen, today it's going to happen, I'm going to have it. It's not this this repetition. It's not just you saying it, because it's a difference of feeling. And I heard Brian Finale talk about this in a very blunt way. He's you know, we're like him. We're just up there in the Truth Villa. I mean, this is a guy who's now building a resort type area in Costa Rica. So we're talking about lots of money coming into him. And his point really was too, just exactly what you're talking about. It's a feeling. It's a dedication. It's not mantraing and you know, sitting around and think, okay, today's the day. That has a place, you know, to get you started and get the ball moving. But really, it's that right there. It's this right here. I'm going to get to where I'm going to go. And all this static junk that's happening on the outsides of these two fences, you can't get distracted by it. Yeah. And then for some of us, this is scary, because while you're doing this, you also want to make sure that you don't step on people on the way. So, you know, you still got to be human on the way to that. So you don't want to, a lot of us have been friends with, know people who have decided to get into this tunnel, and sometimes you hurt people on the outside. So you still got to keep your humanity. So you have to trust yourself that you are still a very humane person, that, you know, the best of you is still going to come through with that. And, you know, I could totally see that. I've seen people, I know people who in their toughest of times, you know, they get this and their kids do eat whatever it takes. Their kids, you know, they somehow, you know, number one is always food, shelter, right? So food usually comes first, shelter you can, you know, delay a little bit. But I have known people who have been in very good professional jobs, even with, they thought they had job security. The next thing you know, it's gone and they have to do something, and somehow it happens. So they do get focused in that. So I don't know, do we have to push? That's what they say about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. You think that that's what that means? You know, get outside your comfort zone is you're getting outside of this 1 ounce of comfort. We're not asking everybody to get to the point, I hope, of, you know, desperation, but I'm assuming that if your back was up against the wall, you're coming out fighting. But maybe on one of the other notes, you know, is that outside of your comfort zone? Is that all related? Is that what we're talking about too?
I think, yeah, that has something to do with it, because you're going to end up doing certain things that you don't normally do, that you may not have thought, or even, you know, you may not even thought of yourself doing it. So, you know, I would imagine that you would still push yourself just a little bit. And I like how you pointed that out too, Alicia, you know, to just make sure that you are still, you know, human. You're a human being. You have other people who are going to support you, of course, because, you know, without them, we would have nothing. We would be nothing. We wouldn't make money. You know, it's just people supporting and helping you. So never step on people, because, you know, I'm always that firm believer too, and, you know, never burning a bridge. Sometimes, I mean, people will just do it unintentionally, and then they think about, oh my gosh, I need to reach out to this person, but, you know, this happened, and some people are maybe even oblivious to it. But just really making sure that you keep that humanity, because, again, you know, we would not be anywhere without the support of our customers and our business partners. So just always keep that in mind. And, you know, something else pops into my head when I'm thinking about this 1 ounce of comfort. And you see a lot of people who are immigrants in the United States, right? And they become hugely successful. And people, you know, a lot of people can complain that these people are, you know, they're not even from the United States. They're making all this money, and, you know, who are they and what gives them the right? But because I would imagine that a lot of these people come from a place where they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. They come to the United States with nothing. So whatever it is that they're doing has to work. It has to work, right? This is the land of the free and the land of opportunity for people. And that's why they come here, because, you know, and we live amongst this. We have grown up, you know, these are our roots. Why don't we have that same kind of vision? I think it's because a lot of people, again, have that 1 ounce of comfort. It's just being stuck and static in this position where I'm okay, where you could have so much more. You could have so much more, but will you do it? That's the question. I'm frozen.
Makes total sense. Did I come back?
Oh, there you are. I see 2 of you at the bottom.
Okay, good. Well, my thanks is you're still live, so I'm going to say that we're still going. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute or two. My final thought on that, where I was headed to when the universe blipped me out of reality here, was I just saw this morning this quote, and it wasn't really a quote. It's, I think she made it up herself. She could have, but it just popped across my screen this morning. And then to be talking about this, you know, it all flows together. So it says, "I'm gonna make it happen no matter what." So you can start with this as a mindset. I am going to make this happen no matter what. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Not someone else, not this and that, but I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So adopt that and see, you know, see where it takes you. If it takes you 2 steps, you're 2 steps further. You know, you don't have to look at it as taking you miles and miles away. You know, 2 steps at a time, add it together. So there you go. What's your thoughts? I can still see you. I wonder if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good to go. I gotcha.
Cool. So that's a really great one. I hope that, you know, everyone found great value in this this subject. I think it's a really awesome one. 1 ounce of comfort. Are you comfortable? And, you know, not saying that even if you are comfortable that you're not going to make it, you can make it. It's just, number one, that decision, that mindset that it's going to work. Just like, you know, Alicia had said, I had mentioned earlier. And maybe for some people, you have to totally get out of that comfort zone and just, you know, create that tunnel vision, remaining human at the same time. But, you know, just make it happen for you, because, you know, there's a reason why you got started in this business, in this industry. It's because you've seen a bigger vision for yourself, a different lifestyle, something that you wanted to change. So go out there, do, make it happen. Thanks for joining us. You know, sugar-free MLM truths with the Sisters in Slippers.